Well, Republicans are projected to win big here locally on election night if WNY News Now's poll results become reality. For president and vice president, Republican and conservative candidates Donald Trump and Mike Pence won 68% of the vote during WNY News Now's election poll over the last week. They won over Democrat working families candidates Joe Biden and Kamala Harris with 26% of the vote. Meanwhile, third-party Libertarian candidates Joe Jorgensen and Jeremy Cohen received 4% of the vote, with just 0.5% going to the Green Party candidates and the Independence Party candidates. There were two write-in candidates for president, part of our poll. Well, for New York State's 8th Judicial District, the Supreme Court endorsed Republican, Conservative, and Independents Gerald Greenan III won 69% of the vote, with Democrat and Working Families candidate Amy Martoshi winning 30% of the ballots cast. There was only one write-in in that race. Now, for New York's 23rd congressional seat, Congressman Tom Reed, the Republican, Conservative, and Independents candidate, won the district with 69% of the vote, according to the poll. Challenger Tracy Metrano, endorsed by the Democrat and Working Families parties, had 25% of the vote, while Libertarian Andrew Kosty from Jamestown won 5% of that vote. Senator George Borrello, the Republican, Conservative, Libertarian, Independents candidate, easily retained his New York's 57th Senate district seat against Democrat and Working Families candidate Frank Puglisi with 76% of the vote over Puglisi's 23% of the vote, part of our poll. For New York State's 150th Assembly District, incumbent Conservative and Independents candidate Andy Goodell won 70% of the vote over Democratic challenger Christina Cardinelli, who won 28% of ballots cast. Now, for the Chautauqua County executive race, P.J. Wendell, running on the Republican, Conservative, and Independents line, won 73% of the vote against the Democrat and Working Families candidate Richard Morrisroe, who yielded 26% of the vote in our poll. There were also several write-in candidates for that race. And in the Chautauqua County District's attorney race, Republican and Conservative challenger Jason Schmidt unseated DA Patrick Swanson, who ran on the Democrat, Working Families, and Independents line. Schmidt won 72% of the vote there, while Swanson, according to the poll, would get 27% of the vote. There were two write-ins for that race. And the final question on our poll, overall 67% of those who participated say they'll be voting in person on Election Day, with 23% voting early and 9% say they've already voted via absentee ballot. Now, the poll had non-scientific results representing a local share of the popular vote and was open to all viewers of WNY News Now. We'll be taking this data, going over it a little more, and comparing it to results live just 7 days from now on election night. Our live election night coverage starts at 9 o'clock right here on WNY News Now next Tuesday.